The Galactic Union had long believed itself to be the pinnacle of civilization. Spanning thousands of star systems, its member species prided themselves on their advanced technology, peaceful governance, and absolute control over interstellar affairs. War, to them, was a relic of the past, something only primitive beings indulged in. But then they detected it. A single warship, emerging from the darkness of uncharted space, heading straight for Union territory. It wasn't like anything they had seen before, jagged, black as the void, radiating signals that made their systems shriek with warnings. The ship carried a name in bold, stark letters across its hull: Valkyrie. The first to detect it were the scanners aboard a Zelnari outpost, a deep space monitoring station on the outer fringes of the Union. The Zelnari were a species of scholars and scientists, renowned for their ability to predict and prevent potential threats before they ever became real. Their technology could detect a comet 50 light-years away, analyze its trajectory, and determine if it posed any risk. But this ship, this human warship, sent their entire system into panic mode. Alarms blared. AI subroutines designed to assess threats stalled in confusion. Defensive protocols engaged automatically, shutting down every non-essential function as if the station were already under attack. Administrator Relva, a veteran of 1,000 research campaigns, watched in stunned silence as the data came in. The ship was massive, twice the size of a Union dreadnought, yet moving with the efficiency of a strike craft. More than that, its hull was lined with unknown alloys that absorbed or deflected most scans, making it difficult to determine its armament. But the readings that did come through were terrifying. Energy levels beyond standard Union warship classifications. Kinetic projectiles so massive they could punch through a planetary shield. An AI on board that was processing data faster than Union networks could track. This can't be right, Relva whispered, gripping the edge of the console. This is some kind of mistake. But it wasn't. The moment Union High Command received the outpost's distress signal, panic spread like wildfire. Across hundreds of worlds, defense fleets scrambled, orders were issued, and diplomatic channels lit up in desperation. For centuries, humanity had been a whispered legend, barbarians who had been cast out of the galactic community ages ago. The Union had declared them extinct, wiped out by their own violent tendencies. And yet, here they were. And they were coming. The Valkyrie moved through the void with terrifying precision. Unlike the sleek, elegant vessels of the Galactic Union, which relied on automated navigation and delicate gravitational drives, this ship moved with raw, mechanical brutality. Every burst of its thrusters sent ripples through space, a monstrous machine that carried the weight of a species long thought extinct. Inside the Zelnari outpost, chaos reigned. Every attempt to communicate with the warship was met with silence. Every scan returned fragmented, scrambled, or incomplete. It was as if the ship wanted them to know it was there, but nothing more. "Send out a first contact protocol," Administrator Relva barked. "We need to know if they come in peace." The comms officer, a young Zelnari named Tavas, hesitated. "Sir, the ship isn't responding to hails. It's still coming. Fast." Relva turned to the holographic display, where a real-time projection of the Valkyrie loomed like a demon in the dark. It was close. Too close. In minutes, it would be within range of their defense grid. And then, the warship did something that sent a wave of primal fear through every Zelnari watching. It slowed down. It wasn't charging in recklessly, as an attacking fleet might. It wasn't drifting helplessly, as a derelict would. No, this was something worse. It was calculating, watching, testing them. Relva's breath caught. "Prepare the defense cannons," he said, voice unsteady. The officers around him turned in horror. Sir? You heard me, he said. This human warship wasn't supposed to exist, and yet it's here. If it doesn't respond, we must assume hostility. Tavas swallowed hard and nodded. Activating the grid now. Across the outpost, massive railguns and plasma turrets whirred to life, their barrels shifting toward the incoming ship. For a moment, the station's defenses locked onto their target, and a tense silence filled the control room. Then, before a single shot could be fired, the Valkyrie responded. A transmission, heavily encrypted and old, so old that the Union's decryption software had trouble parsing it. When the system finally managed to reconstruct the message, it appeared on the main screen. The words written in an archaic, yet terrifyingly clear dialect. Stand down, or be annihilated. The silence that followed was deafening. Tavas's hands trembled over his console. Sir, that's a threat. No, Relva murmured, his throat dry. That's a promise. And then, as if to drive the point home, the Valkyrie powered up its weapons. The station's AI sent an immediate analysis of the warship's armaments. The numbers were staggering. Every single gun on the Valkyrie, from its main cannon to its secondary turrets, had enough firepower to shred a Union battleship to atoms. This is impossible, one of the officers whispered. The warship's engines flared, its massive hull shifting ever so slightly, like a predator baring its fangs. Sir, Tavas said in a shaking voice, if we attack, we die. Relva knew it, too. But what haunted him wasn't just the realization that they were outmatched. It was the thought that this wasn't the only human warship out there. This was just the beginning. The tension inside the Zelnari outpost was suffocating. No one dared to breathe as the Valkyrie hovered just beyond the range of their defense grid, its weapons hot, its presence like a blade at their throats. Relva's mind raced. This wasn't how first contact was supposed to go. There were protocols, carefully crafted diplomatic channels. The Galactic Union had spent centuries ensuring that misunderstandings never led to war. But humans didn't seem to care about protocols. Run the message through every translation filter we have, he ordered. We need to make sure we're not misinterpreting it. Tavas frantically worked at his console. Seconds later, the screen confirmed the worst. Message verified. Stand down, or be annihilated. The words felt like an execution order. Sir, one of the tactical officers said, his voice barely above a whisper. If they fire, we won't survive the first volley. Relva clenched his mandibles. That was the horrifying truth. Union warships were built for endurance, not raw power. They were designed to sustain damage